After hosting dinner for my in-laws, I found a Yelp review left by Mamabear62. It read, 0 stars. Undercooked chicken, tasteless rice, cold vibes. I thought it was a troll until I saw the profile picture. It was a selfie of her holding a sign that said, better luck next time. I live in a quiet suburb outside of Portland, Oregon. My name's Mark, 42, married to a wonderful woman named Rachel. We've been together for 15 years, and in that time, I've learned that family dynamics can be complicated, especially when it comes to in-laws. Rachel's mother, whom I'll refer to as Mamabear62, you'll understand why later, has always been a bit of a critic. She's the type who believes that her way is the only right way. Over the years, I've tried to stay on her good side, but it's been a challenge. Last month, Rachel and I decided to host a family dinner. It was our turn and I wanted everything to be perfect. I spent the entire day preparing. Marinating chicken, cooking rice, setting the table, and even baking a pie from scratch. Rachel handled the decor and ambience. We were proud of our efforts. The in-laws arrived promptly at 6 p.m. Mamabear62 walked in, gave a cursory glance around, and muttered, cozy. Not exactly the warmest compliment, but I brushed it off. Dinner was served. I noticed Mamabear62 poking at her chicken, then taking a bite of the rice and immediately reaching for her water. She didn't say much during the meal, but her expressions spoke volumes. After dessert, she stood up, thanked us for the meal, and left with a simple, better luck next time. I was taken aback but chose not to dwell on it. The next morning, as I sipped my coffee and browsed Yelp for a new brunch spot, I stumbled upon a review that made my heart sink. Username, Mamabear62 review, 0 stars. Undercooked chicken, tasteless rice, cold vibes. Attached photo, a selfie of her holding a sign that read, better luck next time. I was stunned. She had reviewed our dinner as if we were a restaurant. The audacity. I showed Rachel, who was equally shocked. We debated confronting her but decided against it. Instead, I responded to the review, Dear Mamabear62, we're sorry our home-cooked meal didn't meet your expectations. We'll strive to do better in the future. Best, Mark and Rachel. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Within days, the review gained traction. Friends and neighbors began asking about our restaurant. Some even joked about making reservations. It was embarrassing. Then came the local food blogger, intrigued by the mysterious home restaurant with a scathing review. She reached out asking for an interview. I declined, but the damage was done. Rachel was furious. She confronted her mother, who simply said I was just being honest. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hands. I created a Yelp account under the name TruthTeller42. I began reviewing every event and gathering hosted by Mamabear62. Review 1. Event, Thanksgiving dinner rating. Review, dry turkey, lumpy gravy, and a side of passive-aggressive comments. Would not recommend. Review 2. Event, Christmas brunch rating. Review, burnt pancakes, sour orange juice, and a lecture on life choices. Atmosphere colder than the North Pole. I continued this pattern, ensuring each review was detailed and, most importantly, honest. Friends and family began noticing. Some even added their own reviews, sharing similar experiences. Soon, Mamabear62's events became a trending topic on Yelp. She was livid, accusing me of sabotage. I feigned ignorance, suggesting perhaps someone else felt compelled to share their experiences. Eventually, the reviews died down. But the message was clear: if you dish it out, be prepared to take it. Our relationship with Mamabear62 remains strained, but she thinks twice before criticizing now. As for Rachel and me, we've learned the importance of standing up for ourselves. And to anyone reading this, be careful who you review. They might just review you back. So things settled for a bit after the whole Yelp war. Rachel and I went back to normal life. Work, groceries, Netflix, the usual. But then 2 weeks after our second dinner attempt, the one where Mamabear62 brought pie and pretended to be nice, something weird happened. I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name. Inside it said, watch your mouth before you ruin someone's life. We all make chicken differently. That was it. No name. No signature. Just those words written in neat, careful handwriting. I laughed at first. Told Rachel. She didn't laugh. She just stared at the letter and said, my mom doesn't write in cursive. But I knew the tone. It was her. Who else would send something like that? Still, I wasn't going to let a passive-aggressive note ruin my day. I tossed it. Thought it was over. Spoiler, it wasn't. A week later, Rachel's Bakery. She runs a little side business from our garage, cookies, cakes, that sort of thing. Suddenly got hit with 3 one-star reviews. All from accounts made that same week. Cookies tasted like cardboard. Hair in the frosting. Owner has a bad attitude. None of these people had ever been to our house. We know all our regulars. These were fake. But they were detailed like someone had watched us. Rachel was crushed. Why is she doing this? I didn't have an answer. But I was sure it was Mamabear62. The timing was too perfect. We tried to report the reviews to Yelp, but they didn't remove them. Said they didn't violate guidelines. I was furious. Rachel was even more upset. She started doubting her own business. That's when I snapped. I went deep. I started checking all her social media. Not just the ones she used regularly, Facebook, Yelp, but even the old ones. Twitter, Pinterest. Even some random blogs she had from years ago where she used to post recipes and rants. And that's when I found it. A blog post from 2017, titled, "When You're Forced to Eat Trash in Your Own Family." She didn't use names. But the description matched me. Exactly. She talked about a son-in-law with no taste buds and a weird laugh. Said I once served soggy asparagus at a barbecue and made her question her daughter's life choices. She had been writing about me for years, quietly, anonymously, using me as blog material for her relatable content. I felt sick. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I printed every blog post, every review, every passive-aggressive tweet she'd ever made. I made a binder, titled it, "The Chronicles of Mamabear62. Rachel told me it was overkill. I told her, it's just prep, because the next family dinner, it was going to be at her house. She invited us. Said it was her turn to show how it's done. I accepted immediately. But I wasn't going there to eat. I was going there to drop the hammer. The night of the dinner came. Rachel wore her usual forced smile. I wore the same gray shirt Mama Bear once called the color of dishwater. Petty? Maybe. But it felt right. We arrived 10 minutes early. Her house smelled like lemon cleaner and beef stew. She opened the door with her usual tight grin and the words, "You're early, but whatever. Come in." We walked in. The table was already set. For places, her, Rachel's dad, Rachel, and me. She usually over-invites. Cousins, neighbors, her weird friend Doris. I whispered to Rachel, "Why is it just us?" Rachel shrugged, already looking uncomfortable. We sat. Mama Bear poured wine. Not the good kind. The kind that tastes like sadness. Then she handed me a plate. It was chicken. Of course it was chicken. The rice looked overcooked. Maybe intentional. Maybe symbolic. She said, "Figured I'd cook the same thing you did. Let's see how mine compares." I smiled. Looking forward to it. Halfway through dinner, while Rachel's dad was droning about a plumbing issue, she stood up and clinked her glass. "I'd like to make a toast." We all turned. "To forgiveness," she said, "and to knowing your limits." I stared at her. "That for me?" She smiled. "Take it how you want." "Okay. Game on." That same night, as we were getting ready to leave, she pulled Rachel aside. I watched from the hallway. They talked in hushed tones, and Rachel came back looking weird. Pale. "She gave me something," she whispered once we were in the car. She pulled out a small black USB drive. No label. I asked, "Did she say what's on it?" Rachel shook her head. "Just said, for when you need clarity." When we got home, I plugged it into my laptop. There were folders, labeled by year. Inside, videos, hidden camera footage, clips from family dinners, audio from phone calls, even one from our garage showing Rachel baking. I felt my chest go cold. What the hell is this? Rachel was trembling. Is she spying on us? There were so many files. Years worth. Some were labeled with stuff like Thanksgiving meltdown or Rachel crying again. This wasn't just pettiness. This was obsession. I couldn't wait anymore. The next day, I drove to her house alone. Walked in without knocking. She was on the couch watching some cooking show like nothing happened. She looked up. "Oh, Mark." I held up the USB. "I saw everything." She didn't blink. "Did you?" Good. Maybe now you'll see how I've protected my daughter all these years. I stared. Protected her? Yes, she said calmly. From you. She started ranting. Said I held Rachel back. That she was meant for more. That I had softened her with my mediocrity. That the reviews, the posts, they were warnings. You weren't supposed to take them personally. You were supposed to take the hint. She genuinely believed she was the hero in all this. I told Rachel everything when I got back. Every word. She didn't cry. She didn't even flinch. She said I already knew. What? She nodded. I found her blog a year ago. I just didn't want to deal with it. I was stunned. Rachel then did something I'll never forget. She walked to the closet, pulled out a red binder, and said, "This is everything I printed from her social media over the last 5 years. She's got skeletons too." Turns out Rachel had been collecting receipts of her own. Lies. Fake charity posts. One time she said she volunteered at a food bank. Rachel found a timestamp proving she was at a casino that day. She hadn't just accepted her mom's behavior. She had documented it. And then Rachel smiled and said, "I think it's time we burned everything down." Rachel and I made a list. Step 1. Back up every file on the USB. Print hard copies of the blog posts, the fake Yelp reviews, and all the stuff Rachel collected over the years. We created a private folder online labeled Mama Bear Files. Step 2. Let it sit for a week. We didn't talk to her. Didn't respond to texts. She called Rachel once and left a voicemail saying, "Hope you're not mad. That video stuff was just for fun." Step 3. We sent her a message. Just one line, "Meet us at your house. Sunday, 3 p.m., bring your truth." She was already waiting when we arrived. Hair curled. Makeup done. Probably thought we were coming to apologize. We weren't. Rachel put a flash drive on the table. I put the binder next to it. Rachel said, "We know everything. The spying. The posts. The lies." Mama Bear sat still, smiling slightly. "I only ever did what I thought was best for you." I said, "Do you even hear yourself?" She looked at Rachel. "You could have done better." Rachel snapped. "I did. I have a husband who loves me, supports me, and never tried to ruin my business from behind a keyboard." Mama Bear's smile cracked. "That's your opinion." Then Rachel pulled out her phone, opened the cloud folder, and hit share. Sent everything to a list of people. Extended family, her mom's book club, even the local charity her mom claimed to volunteer at. A beat passed. Then Mama Bear's phone started buzzing. And buzzing. And buzzing. 2 days later, Rachel's aunt called. Said their mom had been kicked out of 2 Facebook groups. Her book club disbanded. Someone from the church asked her to step back from social duties. And her Yelp account? Banned. All reviews deleted. Even better, Yelp removed the fake reviews from Rachel's bakery and restored her perfect 5-star rating. Rachel said, "We're not done." She filed a complaint with the police for hidden surveillance. Nothing came of it because laws are weird, but it made Mama Bear sweat. Then Rachel posted her own blog post titled, "My Mother, the Reviewer, a True Story of Sabotage and Chicken." It blew up. People shared it. Commented. Mama Bear's carefully crafted image online? Gone. And just when we thought it was over. I didn't stop. I should have. But I was angry. And I wanted her to feel small. So I printed screenshots from her blog and handed them out at her gym. Taped a few to the windshield of her friend's car. Dumb stuff. I was emotional. She found out. She called me, screaming, crying, not apologizing but cracking. Real cracks. And that's when it hit me. I had become her. Spiteful, petty, angry, watching, plotting. Rachel said, "You don't have to keep fighting. We won." But I didn't feel like I'd won anything. One last thing. One final act of revenge. The most brutal one of all, we cut her out. No visits. No calls. No birthday cards. No Christmas dinners. Total silence. She begged. Left voicemails. Sent letters. Nothing worked. Rachel wrote her one last message. "You never protected me. You embarrassed me. Hurt my husband. And tried to ruin my life. This isn't punishment. It's peace. We don't owe you forgiveness." That was it. It's been almost a year. Rachel's bakery is thriving. We bought a small storefront downtown. People come in just to meet the lady with the crazy mom from the blog. Mama Bear lives alone now. Still posts sometimes, but the comments aren't kind. Her better luck next time sign? It was found at a Goodwill in town. We know because someone sent us a picture. It's framed on our bakery wall now. Underneath it, a little plaque says, "Serve it hot or don't serve it at all. Some lessons are best served cold." Some people, too,